Hello, my people. My name is Nosipho Smelane and welcome to Color Me Gray. Look at my eyes now. You can get away from them. So how are you guys? How are you doing? How has it been? How are you feeling in this day and age and this time? Well, I'm gonna tell you how I'm feeling. Firstly, we gotta look back, and I wanna say 200 views on my last video. I don't wanna check the analytics that people ended watching the video after 2 seconds or people ended watching the video after like 10 minutes. I don't care, but people clicked and people watched my video. 200 people. Even if I make up like 10 of those 200, but it's still 200 people. Please like to increase the engagement, because what do you mean 200 views and 5 likes? Please like the videos. Do it for your girl. Do it for someone who's up and coming. I'm up and coming. I'm trying to build a platform here. Please like. Thank you though. With that out of the way, we are going to talk about something different and something new today. Randomly, I don't know what to discuss about today. So just like any sane normal person, I look at TikTok and TikTok has nothing. And I'm like, ugh. Then I look at Twitter. I'm not gonna call it X for other reasons. I refuse to call it X. I look at Twitter and I see this thread of a girl, and it's quite worrying. As you can see in the picture, it's quite worrying because both of the people are on the bus, but one is complaining about the other and not finding them attractive.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And what I want to ask is, how do you not find someone attractive based on the phone that they are using while both of you are in a bus? I don't know what kind of priorities are those, but damn girl, how does that happen? How does that, like, according to you and according to your state of mind, you are fine. So it umped this conversation that why do we find people attractive until we see the phone they use? And what does Apple have against you? Because the guy was using an iPhone XR, and she didn't say what phone she was using. Also, I used to be like that. I used to be like, Apple is the end all and whatever of all phones. Like, if you have an Apple phone, you are. Even if you have an iPhone, there's no other Apple phone besides an iPhone. If you have an iPhone, you are the best of the best. Was I damn wrong? Okay, it depends though. It depends on what, I don't know, but it depends. So she was cooked to the comments, obviously. So it reminded me on why people judge others based on the phone that they use, which is the discussion between Apple versus Android or iPhone versus Android. And I was thinking, I was like, since I don't have a topic, why not present on this? Because this is good juice. Why is it that a lot of people there are people who prefer Androids, but why is it that there's a lot of people who prefer iPhones and think iPhones are the better phone? So we're going to talk about that. First of all, I would like to preempt that I am not going to be talking about the phones themselves. I will delve into some things, but like this is like surface level things that everyone knows. I'm just bringing them around, like the social ting-tings of them. So I'm bringing that, and I'm not going to talk about that iOS 17 has something in the software that makes it do these things. Honey, I'm not going to talk about that. So me to the witty. I am going to talk about why people go out of their ways alienating others based on the phone they use, as you can see by the thread. And it's a strange world. Some people don't care about the phone that other people use, but the people that do care, like, they care the most, and they go out of their way caring. And it's kind of weird and it's very icky, especially growing up in a place where an iPhone was rare. Like, there'll be one person in the friendship group who has an iPhone, and all of, here it is again. There'd be one person, and she's the one who's always texting, and she never watches the videos. There'll be one person in the friendship group who has an iPhone, and the rest of you all are using Androids, and for some reason the person who has an iPhone is held to a higher standard, even if they are not a nice person. Got me wondering, let me talk about this, Nosipho. So we're gonna start with the thing that people talk about most when people say that they don't like or they find people who use Androids unattractive. Remember I was looking at Ice Spice's comments, and people were like, why is Ice Spice using a Samsung? And some people were like, yeah, Ice Spice, and other people were like, oh no, like she got down 3 points. Like, you can bag Ice Spice. Come on now, Jaden, come on now. So we're gonna talk about the green text or the green bubble versus the blue bubble. So the green bubble or the blue bubble conversation is basically when people are texting iOS to iOS or iPhone to iPhone. There's a blue bubble which you can do all kinds of things. So with the blue text, you can infinite text length, original quality videos, which means when you send videos and media, basically the quality doesn't downgrade. WhatsApp. I don't know what's going on with the old quality, but Zuckerberg, stop wearing chains and starting to look like you're actually cool, in fact, when you're not, and actually fix that app, because some of us live with that app and communicate with our loved ones with that app. So why are you downgrading the quality for us? There's another thread. I saw this on Reddit. Some person said, when a guy texts me and it's green, it instantly makes them less attractive to me. And that's kind of weird, girl. That's what you're focusing on. Kind of a bit iffy. But anyways, so when you're using a green text, which is when you're using an Android phone, when you're texting from Android to iOS, the green text is a fractured text length, which means you have a limited text size and garbage. I won't say garbage quality, but the quality of the photos lessen, obviously. Other things, the emojis are not the same. People always complain about the emojis not being the same, which is social media. When you're doing the social media, the emojis are the same. So then some people on Twitter will use it as like only these certain people understand these emojis, and it'll be just like iOS emojis. And I forgot the thing that it said on Android when iOS has the emoji but Android doesn't have the emoji, but there's something that it used to say. It doesn't say it anymore. So when you're using the green text, you can't add an Android to a group chat. So this is over iMessage. When you're using iMessage doesn't use the SMS form, which is what Androids use. I think it uses MMS. I'm not sure, but all I know that it doesn't use the SMS form. When you're using iMessage and all of this, you can't add an Android to a group chat if you're having a group chat. But I feel like these things are more American central, because all over the world, America is like the only country that doesn't use WhatsApp to that extent. They use iMessage, while us here in South we use WhatsApp all day, every day. Like you use iMessage to play those games. But anyways, for those people, there are people who use iMessage. So for those people who use iMessage and you're an Android talking to an iOS person, you can't add to your group chat. I don't know how many times I've repeated that. You can't have read receipts, so you can't see if you left someone on read. You can't send reactions, which is iffy. You can't send messages over Wi-Fi when you don't have service. If you can't add people to a group, and I'm probably missing some things, but there's other features that iOS has that Androids don't have when you're texting between Android and iOS, because that's the difference. That's what people mainly are fighting for, that I can't do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And one thing, when you're used to doing something, it goes over and over and over and over. And when it doesn't do that, you kind of like, huh. So you're conforming, basically. You're conforming to iMessage and iOS and whatever. There's this course that I'm doing right now, and this term was like, all of the things that we're learning about were basically social conformity. And all of the topics that I present, I'm like, we are conforming to this. We are conforming to that. Conforming to this and that and that. Thank you for following me. Subscribe. And me doing my YouTube channel, I'm basically conforming to a rule that I set to myself, that every Sunday at 5 I'm gonna post a YouTube channel, and every week I'm gonna present on a different topic, sitting down and talking to a camera, to my phone, my iPhone X that the girl was busy saying that the guy. Some of us can't afford these phones. We gotta do what we gotta do, honey. Let's move on. People talk about these things, people don't talk about these things, but it's a real frustration when you're used to something and now you have to do something else. And I'm using the example of texting. Let me sit comfortably. When you're used to doing something, it's very simple to do it over and over and over again, and it's a habit. It's basically habits. So people who use iMessage, and maybe the friends that they have or the people that communicate with have also use iMessage with them. It's hard to actually move from iMessage to another app, because how am I gonna text you while you're using an Android? And I understand that there's some people who do go the extra mile and actually download WhatsApp if the person who they're texting is using WhatsApp, and they download WhatsApp and they try to communicate. But now you're communicating with different people on different platforms, and it's actually quite confusing. It's actually confusing. Don't ask me how. I know it's confusing. Like, it's a feeling. It's something that you can't explain, but it's confusing. Bambaloguti, it's confusing. Some tidbit from the New York Times. The New York Times says, over time, the annoyance and frustration that builds up between the green and blue text bubbles has evolved into more than a tech problem. It's now a social problem. Because why do you mean that you don't want to be my friend? Because when you see my text, you see green. What do you have against the color green? Like, seriously, there's some people who actually hate the color, who hate the text bubble. I'm like, what do you have against the color green? Green is such a nice color. Depends what type of green though. But green is such a nice color. Look at my hat. It's green. It's such a nice color. So what do you have against green? Damn, girl. It created a deeper sociological divide between people who judged another by their phones. The color of a bubble became... It created a deeper sociological divide between people who judged one another by their phones. The color of a bubble became a symbol that some believe reflects status, wealth, given the perception that only the wealthy buy iPhones. Now, the social perception that only wealthy people buy iPhones. This is not true, by the way. And it goes to the saying, I have a video about this. It's not a video, like I have a topic of a video. It goes to the saying that the saying has become quite popular. I'm just a broke girl with an iPhone. Because there's a lot of broke people with an iPhone. Going back to the girl in the bus. Both of you are in the bus. Both of you are broke. Both of you don't have cars. From what I can see from that, because I'm taking it at a surface level, you can be like, oh, you're using an Android. And he can be like, dude, we're both in the bus. Get over yourself. Because literally, get over yourself.
Diamond earring came up in the ocean and it's gone. And there's people that are dying.
Like, that works so nice here, because actually there are people that are dying, and there's more other things to be worried about than a person's phone. There's some people who still use an iPhone 6 to this day, and I'm like, you do you, girl. And there's nothing to worry about that, because they're doing themselves. I actually have to do something. Sorry about the change of lighting. As I said, I'm just a broke girl with an iPhone, because we are. And in this day and age where you can actually rent a phone, I don't know if it's renting, you can you're buying on credit. So basically you're paying a month. I don't know what is it in other countries, but in South Africa, you can go up to 36 months with paying off a phone. That doesn't mean money. That just means that I just wanted an iPhone. And with that, I'm actually I'm not getting it at a cheaper price, because those things are not make sure. Those things are not make sure. Because you find that there'd be like a 10,000 rand. If I get it, because there's insurance included, there's data included, and whatever. But that amount of a difference.
Scrolling on Instagram as one does, I come across this ad. iPhone 15, $889 per month for 36 months. That's 3 years. So I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, wait, how much is an iPhone 15? The exact one? 20,000 rand. The math is off. Wait. So I go to the calculator. I just wanted to see how much more, because I know for contracts we're paying more, but how much more? 12,000 rand more. You're paying 12,000 rand more? Just 12,000? 12? Rather save up for the phone. Save up for the phone. 12,000.
The messaging divide is affecting how people interact. Not only that, text communications between iPhone and Android devices. Sorry, I'm moving something. Text between iPhone and Android devices become a subpar experience, with both users being downgraded to SMS, which I said. A much older texting protocol, losing features like inline reactions, thread responses, and text edits. Photos and videos become heavily compressed. Yes, they do. And also on WhatsApp, iPhone to Android, the pictures become compressed. I don't know what WhatsApp does. That's why people back when Share It used to exist, people used to send pictures on Share It rather than send it on WhatsApp, because when you send it on WhatsApp, the quality just becomes bad for no reason than when you're sending on Share It, where it's the original quality saved through your phone. It's like sending on AirDrop. AirDrop. Because even on iOS to iOS on WhatsApp, the quality is bad. I don't know what that app does, but the quality is still bad. Hi. Photos and videos become heavily compressed. While many other cross-platform texting apps like WhatsApp and Signal, I don't know what Signal is, fill the gap, the standard texting app that ships to any phone is often the place where people text each other the most. Here in South Africa, it's WhatsApp. In America or Europe or whatever, it's iMessage. And mainly here, I'm talking about iMessage, guys. The fault of that out-of-date experience is often placed on Android users and not Apple users. That's the thing, though. Why? I don't know. Although it's an experience of Apple's making. Capitalism. Why are Apple making themselves better? They actually made this to actually shun Android users.
All of my successes depend on me. I'm the man who has the ball. I'm the man who can throw it faster than fuck. So that is why I am better than everyone in the world. Kiss my ass and suck my dick, everyone.
And it's not nice. I don't like it. What if the love of my life won't be a petty person who's like, oh my god, you're using it. The love of my life won't be like that. This blame can take the form of prejudgments about a person's income, personality, and overall social status, which sometimes can lead to bullying and added pressures to the switch. But SMS texting is still considered the preferred way to communicate for Americans, with 2 trillion text messages sent in 2021, helping Apple maintain its hold over messaging in America by making iMessage the default messaging service on iPhone and being unwilling to adopt RCS. Apple has forced Americans into a divided system. In other words, iMessage is not better. Apple just doesn't want to conform to RCS, which has proven to be a better communication tool. In other words, this is Apple's fault. So we should all blame the company, okay? Because they made this system and now Android users are being judged for this system. But only remember that only petty people and people who think that life. Also, I'll finish my sentence. But also, I've noticed that people who center this thing and they think, also this is my opinion, they think, let me put on my glasses, they think that they are the main character. I think it's an Halsey said this in a Zach Sang interview.
I think the hardest lesson a young person has to learn in their 20s is you are not the main character in everybody's story.
Wow.
You're the main character in your own.
When they meet people who are like, I really don't care about this, they're like, but I care. It's those people that, like, when you're posting on TikTok, making, for example, maybe a beetroot salad, and a person would be like, but I'm allergic to beetroot. Ungenapi. Was I talking about you? Scroll, please. Why do you need to be a pick-me? Oh, that's the word that I wanted. A pick-me. Y'all are pick-me's in the nicest way possible, because subscribe and like. Another thing that is helping Apple and people who are using Apple is that most apps are actually optimized for Apple products. But not for Android. For some reason, when you post on Instagram on an Android, the video or the picture, you can see the difference. Even on TikTok, you can see the difference if this was posted from an iOS or this was posted from an Android. Any Android, if it's Samsung, Google Pixel. I really want a Google Pixel phone. Those phones look so cute, but they're so expensive. But those phones look so cute. I like them, especially the gray one. No, if I can get the white one, I feel like I have enough great things. My phone is gray right now. People complain that most apps are optimized for Apple and makes for a better social media experience, which it does. For example, Snapchat. Snapchat in particular is much better because it runs smoother and the actual pictures you get from the Snapchat app are vastly superior than the one you get on an Android. Snapchat on an Android and Snapchat on an iPhone is very different. Snapchat uses the iOS camera. On Android, it feels like took a screenshot on what the camera saw, and we all know that screenshot is just reducing quality. That's why if like something has been through over 1,000 screenshots, the video is or the picture is compressed. I wouldn't say that has changed, but I feel like it's changing as more apps are optimizing the use of Android phones. I saw something, I don't know if it's true, please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Comment that the reason why the apps are optimized on Apple, because Apple only has one product and it provides the same software, I think, which is only the iOS software. While how many Android phones are there in the world? Samsung, Google Pixel, others that I haven't, Oppo, Redmi, Xiaomi. Redmi is under Xiaomi, right? There's so many phones that I don't even know they exist, but they do. So it might be harder to like interpolate the kind of systems like that. I saw that. I don't know if it's true. I saw it on Reddit. I can't really explain it properly, but basically iPhone social media apps use the iPhone camera API to take pics, and you won't see the difference sometimes. On Android, you see the difference because the hardware on the camera API is made to work with the Android, and Android is made to work with the Pixel phone. I don't understand what that is, but whoever does. The thing is, it makes sense. Like, you don't understand what it means, but it makes sense. Other brands use different hardwares and softwares that are not directly but natively included in the software. So the workaround is some kind of translation that makes the apps and others and the brand's camera app lose detail and quality. TikTok, Instagram, even Facebook for some reason. Like Instagram, you can see the difference in the filters. Like when you're adding a filter, or even on TikTok, when you're adding a filter, especially when you're using like an older Android app, like 2 years, you can see when you move that the filter, you can see that it's fake and it's not sticking with your face. It's not doing what it's supposed to do, and it's kind of confusing, but that's it. So most apps are genuinely better on iOS, and it's a fact. Right now, most apps are better on iOS, and it's actually a fact. Bite me, don't bite me, please. But sue me, don't sue me also. So these are some of the reasons, even though I stated 2. Some of the reasons do. Apple makes themselves look better than what they actually are, and they make themselves look better than the products that they produce. Because how many times have people said when a new iPhone comes out, they said it's just an iPhone, it's just last year's iPhone with 1 or 2 tweaks. Like, and I remember that when the iPhone 15 came out, people were just saying it's just iPhone 14, but they took out the lightning cable and they put the Type-C cable. What you doing, dog? We're sharing the same charging, what? Bored. So it's kind of like that. And also, guys, storage. I love you guys, but my storage. But I'm a deleter at heart, so I delete. I'll send you your pictures and delete them. If you lost them on your own, please and thank you. So now we've reached almost the end of the video, and we're sharing my final thoughts. My final thoughts is that people's mentalities and people's priorities are different, and people should prioritize better things in life, okay? Don't prioritize Androids over iPhones, because at some point it became a really big discussion that was not needed. But some people were like, iPhone, don't do this, girl. It's like having a broke mentality, because it is having a broke mentality. Because what do you mean, girl? I get it, you feel like the iPhone is better than the Android, and maybe where you grew up you were made to feel that the iPhone is better than the Android, and you feel like maybe you have a higher integrity or a higher social status or a higher standard than the person next to you. But it's actually cringe. And to some people, it's an ick. And to some people, using Android is an ick. And even on dating apps, I saw an article that said even on dating apps, some people can't get dates because they use Androids. And it's weird that what people worry about Going back to Kim, there's people that are dying. It's weird what some people worry about, and it's concerning, and I'm worried about y'all. Where are our priorities? Do you value living a happier life, or do you want to keep paying off that phone that you can't afford in an economy where everything is rising and inflation is at the highest and an iPhone is expensive? Let's say you're a person who buys iPhones yearly, why this, I don't understand people who do that. Also, why do you do that? Hashtag Congo. And where do you put the phones that you had previously? Can you give them to me? If you're using an iPhone 14 or 13 and you want and you have a 12, please, can I have it?
Show me to me, please. Send it to me, Rachel.
We've reached the end of the video, and I want to say thank you for watching if you reached here. And love, like, comment, love. Actually, don't. Like, subscribe, turn on your post notifications, share, copy the link and share to every social media platform that you have. And mommy, I love you. My mom reaches the end of the video, so mommy, I love you. And this is me for this week.